we're going to look at another set of contrasting reasons for using the imperfecto and the pretérito. Remember that these are both past tenses, and they're simple past tenses, meaning they have only one part. They're not compound, which has two parts. And the reason for using the imperfecto, or another reason for using the imperfecto, the aba, ia form of the verb, is when you're talking about repeated or habitual actions. So things that you used to do, things that you would do in the past. In English, both used to and would imply that you did it more than one time. So if we look at our English sentence, his mother's friend would watch him almost every day. Well, first we have the clue of almost every day. That implies repetition. And the would watch him. This was the guy who is always in the cafe watching Valentin. And that sentence would be: El amigo de su madre lo miraba, very repetitious sounding, casi todos los días. Now, in contrast, the pretérito, that is the o, io endings, talks about, in the past, action with limitations. It occurred for a certain duration of time, like for 2 days, or a certain number of times. We went there only once. So there's going to be some parameters set for that action, so it's seen as completed. Vale spent the day with Leticia. We know that there's a limitation to how much time he spent with her. He spent the day. And because of that, you're going to use the pretérito for spent. And that will sound like: Vale pasó el día con Leticia. So we're going to look at some examples here together, which would be the correct form of the verb to use. I'll read the sentence, give you a little time to think, and then talk about the answer. Leticia and Vale spent the afternoon together. Pasaban o pasaron la tarde juntos. It's pasaron la tarde juntos because this action has a limitation, the afternoon. We know how much time they spent together. It is not repeated action. Vale's father didn't visit often. Visitaba or visitó. This would be visitaba. We have the word often, implying that there's repetition. Even though he didn't do it, what he didn't do was done often. So visitaba. Vale spilled his soda twice. Derramaba o derramó. It would be derramó because we have a limit to the actions. His action, twice. Vale and his grandma argued a lot. Discutían, discutieron. Discutían would be the answer. They argued a lot, meaning on more than one occasion in the past they argued. So it's repetition. Vale waited for over an hour to meet Leticia. Esperaba, esperó. This would be esperó. He waited for over an hour. Once again, we've got a specific time period. We've got limits to his actions of waiting. Once Vale's father got so angry that he drove off without him. Se enojaba, se enojó, se iba, se fue. You are going to use se enojó and se fue, the preterite forms, for each of these verbs. Here's a clue. Once. Got so angry, drove off. They're completed actions. Vale's father would get angry when he would mention his mom. Now, even though we have another same verb, getting angry, look at the would in front. That implies repetition. Se enojaba and would mention, so mencionaba. Vale's uncle stayed with them for the weekend. Se quedaba or se quedó. You would want to use se quedó, preterite, because we know how long he stayed there for the weekend. There are limits to his actions, to how long he stayed with them.